I'm your host, Davida Shinsky, and you're listening to Live Without Limits Dreams Come True with the Right Mindset. And today, what I want to do is talks about 6 helpful tips on finding positivity after getting divorced, simply because, you might have a really good mindset, but relationships are often difficult, and when you get married, you may think that you're getting married for all the right reasons and it's going to last, but you never know what happens, because you never know really what it's like to live with someone even after you're married, because being married and living with someone for other reasons can lead to many different things. So today's show is titled 6 Helpful Tips on Finding Positivity After Getting Divorced. If you find yourself struggling after a divorce, you have a tough time thinking that you'll ever be happy again. You may be battling depression, anxiety, fear, disappointment, and more. Feeling these emotions causes some people to get out of the social scene and isolate themselves. It's easy to give up on new dreams and possibilities when life doesn't go as planned. However, such mindsets don't allow you to embrace opportunity for continued growth and positivity. It may feel as if you have happy days and that they may be over after a divorce. However, if you become open to possibility in time, life can open up and make a way for you to bloom often, once again, feeling hopeful and happier. Now, before I actually get into some of the tips, what I want to talk about is, and this really is the gist of what my 5 day challenge is all about, is that if you grow up in a toxic relationship where there's no respect between your parents and how they treat you, or you grow up in relationships where you're constantly being told that you're worthless, then what happens? You end up as an adult in relationships where you're being treated exactly the same way. And then what happens? If you change your mindset, all of a sudden there's a breakdown in the relationship, and you realize that you don't deserve to be treated the way they're treating you. And that's something that leads to divorce. Because if you look back at the 20th century, and prior to that, there was very few divorces, because women often stayed with someone who abused them, simply because back in the 18th and 19th century, men owned women to a certain extent. And then in the 20th century, especially in the early part of the 20th century, as we moved into the industrial age, the man was usually the breadwinner, and the wife was often someone who stayed home and took care of the home and raised the kids. So, 6 tips to help you become more positive after a divorce or separation. Pay attention to your thoughts. Thoughts are powerful. If you want to experience some happy emotions, you'll you've got to learn how to tap into the power of positive thinking, regardless of a divorce or how your past has been. You can retrain your brain to think positively. Think of it this way: it's like you have an old CD playing in your brain, and it is full of negative thoughts that keep you in a cycle of sadness, anxiety, fear, and more. Now, You can take that CD out and smash it into 1,000 pieces. Then give yourself permission to put a new CD in that is full of positivity and hope for a better life. Now, when I talk about transactional analysis, the theory behind that is that you have the parent, you have the adult, and you have the child. The parent often tells you what you should be doing. The adult says, I am able to. And the child says, I want. Now, that parent may be giving you those mixed messages. And because you've heard those messages over and over and over again, you've begun to internalize those messages. And those are the messages that you have to retrain and get rid of. Focus on your positive desires. What do you want in life? More happiness? Peace? Do you have concrete goals? Or are you just caught up in the routine of your everyday life? According to the law of attraction, you get what you put your focus on. So get busy putting your attention on the things that you want. For example, if you're struggling with depression, write down some things that you enjoy doing. Think about the things that make you feel happy and commit to doing them as often as you can. If your desire is to experience more happiness, spend more time doing things that you enjoy. For example, if you love to play with your pets, spend much time playing with them as you can. If hiking in nature excites you, get out there regularly. If socializing with family brings you joy, be sure to have a regular get-togethers. As you put more time into feeling those good feelings, more good feelings will come. You attract what you focus on, so focus on the good things. Believe that you have what you want. To get what you want, believe that you can and actually do have it. You ask for it, believe that you have it, and then it will come. See, having faith is believing that something before you really does gets momentum going. It sets an intention. It gets the universe swirling and working into its magic, so to speak. So, when you ask for something like more happiness, know that more and more will come. Some people call this faking it till you make it. Even though you're feeling sad now, pulling up happy emotions now, especially by doing something you love to do, will essentially help you ditch that sadness sooner rather than later. Get yourself stirred up. Keep yourself stirred up with things that are positive and inspirational. Read books, go to seminars, listen to audios, watch YouTube videos, visualize yourself with a great life. Get a life coach and take life to a new level. Divorce does not mean that your life is over. Offer gratitude. Begin to get up each morning and say, thank you. Even if you're struggling emotionally, say thank you for all the good things in your life and all the good things coming your way. It may feel like you don't have much to be grateful for, but if you really think about it, there are many blessings in your life. Something as simple as being able to breathe and walk around are blessings. When you offer gratitude, you send out positive vibes, and guess what happens? More good things come your way. If you need a reminder, get yourself a daily gratitude journal and take time to write it. Be patient. Not everything comes in your time, so learn to be patient. Patience is a choice. It's not always easy to accept that we're powerless over some situations, but it is possible. If you struggle with being patient, saying the serenity prayer will help. And here's the serenity prayer. God, grant me serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things that I can, and wisdom to know the difference, and then learn to persevere even if you've been waiting for what seems forever. Boosting positivity after divorce is possible. Life after divorce can be challenging, but the challenge doesn't have to last forever. As you navigate grieving the loss of a relationship, keep in mind that there are some things that can do that you can do to increase positivity along the journey. Take these tips into consideration. Continue to learn how you can bring more positively and happiness into your life. Looking for the good things that you already have in your life and embrace an optimistic mindset. Even after divorce, you can heal, learn valuable lessons, and go on to enjoy a good life. Should you find yourself struggling more than you believe, you can handle. You can always reach out to the professional therapist for help. Being able to share your grief and emotions with someone who can hold a safe space for you and be quite therapeutic. And one of the last things that I want to talk about is the fact that when you get divorced, if you need to not only get therapy, but you should consider that the process takes at least 3 to 4 years, that if you hook up with someone within that time, you're more likely to end up in a very similar relationship. But if you tend to wait about 3 to 4 years, then you've worked on yourself, you've given yourself time to heal, and then you're more open to a much better relationship. And this brings me to my 5-day challenge. And that challenge is called Change Your Thoughts, Transform Your Life. And on the first day, we talk about the unconscious behavior and how it affects you. The second day, we talk about toxic relationships and their effect on your mental health. The third day, we talk about the workplace environment. Then the fourth day, we talk about how to change those negative thoughts into positive ones. And on the last day, we talk about how, or rather, where do you go from here? So I would like you to take the opportunity to be a part of my 5-day challenge. And to do that, you can go to changeyourthougtschallenge.com /join the challenge.